3 people convicted in the brutal torture and killing of a Hamilton man have now been sentenced to several years behind bars. The judge saying that no amount of jail time can properly reflect the suffering Tommy Hoang's family has gone through in the 3 years since his death. Emily Taylor leads us off tonight.
In a Hamilton court today, the judge called the attack on an unsuspecting Hamilton man stark and horrifying. The court heard how it was February of 2021 when Tommy Hoang was called to his then-girlfriend's East Hamilton apartment. There, he was beaten and tortured, and his house was robbed. Hoang had numerous injuries that led to his death, including a slashed throat, a fractured skull, stab wounds, and bite marks. He was found with his hands bound by duct tape. Robyn Cove, Daniel Holland, and Madeleine Peternel all pleaded guilty to manslaughter in his death and were sentenced today. It was silent in the courtroom as the judge read out each one of the sentences and then asked that person to leave the courtroom. There was no big reaction from any of the people convicted or the family of Tommy Hoang. Several dozen of Hoang's friends and family gathered in the courtroom today. Holland was sentenced to 7 years behind bars with credit for time served. He will now spend just over 2 years in prison. Holland admitted in court he hit Hoang with a metal pipe while he was tied up. The judge said Mr. Holland directly contributed to the death of Mr. Hoang. His moral culpability is high. Hoang's girlfriend at the time, Peternel, was sentenced to 5.5 years behind bars. After the time she's already served, she will be in prison for just under 2 years. The court heard how she never physically hurt Hoang, but lured him to the apartment knowing he would be robbed. The judge called her role more morally reprehensible because of her relationship to Hoang. Cove was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months behind bars. He has just 5 months left to serve. Like Peternel, there's no evidence of Cove ever injuring Hoang, but he helped with the attack. The Crown had requested 10 years behind bars for each of the people convicted, while the defense was asking for no additional jail time beyond what each had already served. A fourth person, Jason Long, pleaded guilty to second-degree murder in this case and was sentenced to life in prison last month. Emily Taylor, CHCH News, Hamilton.